Okay, just recently, William Shatner, who is Captain Kirk from Star Trek, who traveled through space for many, many years on TV, finally actually did make it to space. And when he did on the SpaceX, he felt crushed. And here's why. William Shatner has made headlines this week with the announcement that his trip into space wasn't the celebration or high note he thought it would be. Instead, it felt like a funeral for planet Earth. Well, let me tell you something. I've made some discoveries that are absolutely astounding, and I tried to make it to academia to show them these discoveries, and I was crushed. And when I say I was crushed, I mean I was crushed. And I'm going to tell you right now, academia is a funeral for the human mind. All right, this is how academia crushes you. I sent this to a leading expert in fossil preservation. And this is what I sent to him. I get a response from him that says, "I'm sorry, I can't help. I'm not an expert at any of this stuff. You were misinformed." Well, here's what I looked him up. I says, "Thanks for the reply. I cannot understand why scholars will not help. I looked you up and you seem to fit the profile. I have giant feathers also," because he's deep into feathers. Biology, biography. I am a reader in paleobiology. I work mainly on paleobiology of plesiosaurs and exceptional preservation of fossil vertebrates. I am particularly interested in Cretaceous with projects on the dinosaurs of the Isle of Wight and the paleoecology of the Crato Formation in Brazil. Research interest, preservation of soft tissues, fossil soft tissues, mechanism, how does it work, and paleobiology. Work concentrating mainly on phosphatized soft tissues with high fidelity morphology resolution, investigating the chemistry and rates of process, comparison with recent material and actualistic experiments, which I do. Also work on preservation of organically preserved soft structures of Mesozoic marine reptiles and birds, especially feathers. And I said, "Are you not interested in this discovery?" No questions from him whatsoever. Just, "I'm sorry, I can't help you. Go away." I need some scholarly interaction. Can I get it? Please reconsider or at least introduce me to some others that are interested. Respectfully, Roger. And then I sent him a picture of the feathers that we have that are gigantic. They're 3 inches thick. I have one right here. I don't know if it's 3 inches thick, but it's pretty damn thick. There's the feathers. It came right off of this. Gigantic feather on the side of the road. That's the feathers right there. It's the same as my turkey feather. And it's on both sides. All right? They got both sides. There's one, and there's the other side. He's interested in this stuff. Not a damn one of them will pay any attention. They are a disgrace to education. This is why I'm crushed. Here's our physicists. They find these as the smallest particles that exist. We found them. They refused to discuss it with me. I was told to leave and don't ever come back. Now I'm praying, literally praying, that William Shatner will hear my request for help, because he's got a voice. People will listen to him. And he is crushed by what he has seen on our Earth, and I am crushed by what I have seen in our educational system and our physics and everywhere else. These are people that are supposed to be doing work for us to try to help us and refuse to engage in reality. I have found these particles. Fermilab has found them too, only I found them for a lot less money, and they refuse to engage. In summary, the extended particles have a fixed size, they may have a fuzzy edge, and the other ones are a 0 size but have an extended field. These are the 2 particles that we found exactly as they say. All right, here's our light research we did. These are the Fermilab particles. We found the exact same particles using light instead of protons, which is what Fermilab tried to do and never could figure out how to do it. We did it, and we separated these two particles. Not only did we see them together, here like this, we actually separated them, which is what CERN is trying to do. We created sterile muons from the muon neutrino. They say this, nobody's can ever find these. We found them, we have them, I can show them right here. And we can do this all day long. And not only can we do it, we can squirt them into a substrate. Not like CERN and the rest of them. They explode them, they smash them together and they explode into just debris. We actually can harvest these. And this is refused now for at least 7 years. And I have tried to present this to Fermilab and the people that are responsible for making these statements. And not a single one of them will respond. It's an absolute tragedy. It's the waste of a human mind to go into academia now. You go there to be taught, you are just there to be indoctrinated into a whole raft of lies. Not a single thing in academia is correct now. History is totally wrong. Geology is 100% wrong. Physics is ridiculous. Physics is a dipole. It's not one huge proton in the center. It is a number of particles that make up a proton, and these are the particles. They end up being light, and they end up being the smallest particles that exist. And nobody can deny this. All they can do is refuse to speak about it and destroy the world by their William Shatner's right. It's a death planet right now, and it's the death of the mind that has caused this destruction to our Earth. Okay, if you think I haven't tried to work with academia and the physics people and everybody, you're totally wrong. I presented all my mud fossil information and DNA and CAT scans and all that stuff to Yale, and they just dismissed it as oh, they're just rocks. And they wouldn't refuse. Derek Briggs, who is the big top guy down there, refused to talk to me. Same thing happened at Harvard. Same thing happened at Johns Hopkins. I took a course with Peter Salzberg, who was supposed to be the top guy in genetics. I took a genomics course at Johns Hopkins, and he dismissed my stuff in seconds. Just, you're crazy. This is all crazy. I'm the expert, and just go away. And the same thing happened everywhere. Everywhere I went, 100%, right across the board. And I went to all of them. I even took a course at University of Geneva for the particle physics, this stuff. And I found the muons. I found these muons. I found the electron neutrinos. I got all this stuff. And they were interested because I was actually enrolled in this school there through Coursera. And I said, well, here's what I did. And I showed them all my evidence. And they said, wow, that's interesting. We'll follow you on Facebook. Well, Facebook knocked me off. They deleted my account. I can't get on Facebook. So who cares about that? That's just crazy anyway. Anyway, there's no interest whatsoever. And we should be able to get free energy out of this. This is supposedly 200 times more energy if you can split these particles apart, which we did. No question whatsoever, we did. And we can squirt them onto a substrate. So we're not just harvesting some big ball of goop. We're harvesting the actual particles. Now, could muons point to new physics? Absolutely. First question ever asked in Western philosophy, what is the world made of? It's made out of these two particles only, not the 12 particles of the Standard Model. Standard Model is just insane. Now what they're talking about, whoa, new experimental results probing magnetic properties of the muon. It's the heavier cousin of the electron, 207 times heavier. Seems to indicate new particles of nature may exist. Absolutely. Potentially shedding light on mystery of dark matter. That's the dark matter, is the black side, is the muon. The results are a celebration of the human spirit and our insatiable curiosity. No, it's our insatiable demand to be just the only one to have any information. I don't care if I'm the only one, and right now I am. Everything I have presented, I am the only one that has this evidence. And I am destroyed and crushed. Bill, Captain Kirk, come to my rescue. if Captain Kirk does come to my rescue, we may be able to rescue planet Earth. So this may be the real exciting part of Bill Shatner's life. It's insane to keep doing what we're doing and destroy the Earth. We're burning fossil fuels, turning solid things into gases, and the gases are so expanded now that's why we're scrubbing through the universe. They don't even understand that all of these light particles from light are in the universe, and that's what we have to scrub through. That's what's causing the heating. It's not just because the carbon dioxide won't let the heat go away. It's not going to go away. It's being scrubbed into our Earth. The ionosphere way out on the edge is 2,700 degrees. That's because it's scrubbing, not because it just all of a sudden got hot out there. And then you come down below where it's very, very cold. But where the scrub zone is, the ionosphere, that is where the temperature is. If William Shatner will step up and lend his voice, this could make a huge difference. Huge. All right, I suppose that's all I have to say. Thank you.